This is a story of how our grandparents came to the United States through Ellis Island and how Ancestry.com identified a very interesting aspect of their arrival in the United States. I'm Greg Ryan.
And I'm Brooke Maroldi, and I found out through Ancestry and my parents' stories that all my grandparents came through Ellis Island, but the Ryan side of your family has a different story to it.
My Uncle Jim was the family genealogist, and he spent hours and hours combing through records of courthouses and cemeteries, putting together the Ryan family tree. When I got involved with that, I started using Ancestry.com. And so I helped him with gathering more information, but I also started looking at the maternal side of my family, my mother's side. And my grandmother, Mary Donlan, came over from Ireland. And she came also through Ellis Island.
I love the name Mary Donlan. However, there were a lot of Mary Donlans.
Yes.
It was a very common name in those days. And we had a really tough time figuring out which Mary Donlan was it that was your grandmother.
Until we had a really fun conversation with my mom. And we started going through each one of these Mary Donlans until we arrived at one and told her the address where my grandmother went to after Ellis Island, and it was a place in the Bronx.
And that was your aunt's address, and that's how we knew it was the correct Mary Donlan.
Right.
And we found that because on the Ancestry.com website were copies of the handwritten ship's manifests, which is just so incredible to me that we have those records. Both of them, my grandfather also came through Ellis Island. His name was Antonino Sanzone. Very easy to find. He came from Palermo. Mary Donlan came from Ireland. And when I was looking through the records, there was something about the date, May 4th, 1911, that just alerted me. So I started going through all the ship manifests and the records, and sure enough, on that day,
my grandmother came through on that same day, May 4th, 1911, on the same day that her grandfather came through.
Antonino Sanzone.
And I like to think that they may have winked at each other and gone happily on their way to their new lives in the United States. And thanks to them, 25 years ago, we met each other, fell in love, and got married. So...
and thanks to Ancestry.com for putting together this piece of our puzzle, the puzzle of our ancestry and how our two families were connected way back then.